Hello everyone, so in this video, let us talk about another easy little problem from LeetCode. The problem name is subsequence. So you're given two strings S and T, return true if S is a subsequence of T, or you have to return false otherwise. Now what is subsequence? Here's a definition. A subsequence of a string is a new string that is formed from the original string by deleting some of the characters without disturbing the relative positions of the remaining characters. Okay, don't worry, I'll tell you with the example. Let's say that you have this as a string. Now, what are some of the possible subsequences of this string? You have to take the same string, but you can delete any characters you want. So let's say I could delete this. So whatever characters are left, let's say A, C, D, that is one of the valid subsequence. So you don't have to just change the order. You can just delete any characters. Let's say I delete this and D. So it is A, B, E. Or let's say I delete all of them. All of them. Let's say only A is left. So A is also a subsequence. Okay, so that is the overall thing, that you just have to check that whether S is a subsequence of the string T. So what is the thing that you have to understand? That S should have the same characters as T, but some deleted, and they have to be in the same order. So you just have to check that whether S has the characters in T and the same order. So you can use two pointer techniques here. So let's say, let's take an example here. A, H, B, G, D, and C. A, B, C. You will put two pointers here, one here and one here. Okay. And because this is T, that is a bigger string that you have to check for, and this is the string S, that this should be a subsequence. What you will do is that you will keep a for loop over this bigger string, that is the string T. Now what you will do is that for S to be a subsequence, all the characters, like these characters should be here also, because like it is a subsequence. Also, they should be in the same order. So what we'll do is that we'll go from left to right and check that whether A is present in S at this particular point. Yes, A is present, which means that okay, A is present. Now we'll move our pointer to the next point and also move the next point like this also. Why? Because A is present. We have to check that A is present. Okay. Whether H is present, like because the next character should be in the same order as well. So H is not present, which means that if I can delete H also from T, that is also fine, because I should be having the whole string of S here, but I can delete also some characters. So I can delete. So let's say I delete H. Don't literally delete it, but just imagine that we delete it. By delete, what we'll do is that we'll skip it. Like we'll just skip this character. That okay, don't worry. Move to B. Whether B is present in S at the same position that we have the pointer on, yes, which means that now B is also here, which means that okay, A and B are here, H can be deleted. That is how our subsequence is present. So let's move on to the next character. Whenever there is a match, then only you will move this, because I have to have all these characters present inside T as well in the same order. So now B is checked. Now G is not there, which means that I can delete G from this T. D is also not there, so let's say delete D as well. C is there, so which means that C is there. So now we go out of bound of this string, which means that in the end we have to check that the complete string is covered, which means that we have covered all the characters of string S inside T. Whenever the for loop of T ends, we have to check that this has gone out of bound. This has to be on the like the next of the last character, which means that all the characters are covered and all the characters are present here in the same order, because whatever is not there, we will have been deleting it. If it is present, then only we have moved our S to the next pointer, and thus we have all our characters if this has gone out of bound. And that is the overall logic that you have to use to check that whether it is a subsequence or not. So let's move on to the code part now. What we have done is that this is a variable I that is moving along the string S, and we have a pointer J that is moving along the string T. Now what we'll do is that we will just check that if S of I and S of J are same, then only move my I to the next character, or else keep on moving my J. J is using a for loop. It will keep on moving. It doesn't wait on anything. But I will only move if we find out a match. so that if we find out the match, then only I will move, which means that I have found out a value and I will put that inside the subsequence that I'm finally forming. If it is skipped, if it doesn't match, which means that we have to delete it, it is skipped. Okay. At any point, if my I goes out of bound, so these are the string length is s dot size, but the values goes from 0, 1, 2, and the 3 is out of bound because the index 3 is actually the length of the string, which means that we have gone out of bound. So if I, that is the pointer moving along the string s, if it is goes out of bound at any point, then we break, and the end will just check that my I, that is the pointer on the string s, it has to be out of bound of the string s. Then only we know that this s is a subsequence, because if it is inbound, so let's say we have only matched till b, there is no c here. So let's say there is no c in this string, and what could have happened is that we are keep on moving our ij keeps on matching, but in the end there is no c. So this I will only get stuck on the last character because there is a no match for I. So I will only move when there's a match, but there is a no match for I, which means that I haven't moved to the next character. If it doesn't move, then which means that I has not gone out of bound. So which means that we have not a complete match of this string as a subsequence in this string, which means that it is false. This is not present because all the characters in the same order has to be present, but all the characters are not in the string as that it is present in T, so that is a false subsequence, so we have to return false. So in the end, what we are doing is that this is just a Boolean expression to check that whether I has reached to the very end. Very end is s dot size. If it has gone out of bound, which means that it has gone out of bound, then only this expression returns true, else expression returns false. You can also do an if else in the very end, but this is a very simple and easy to understand Boolean expression also. There's a whole you can say concept. This is just in O of n time complexity because we are using you can say 2 pointers, but still we are only going from left to right over the bigger string in the maximum case possible. Okay, so that's the overall logic and the code part for this particular problem. If you still have any doubts, you can mention in the comment box for this particular video. I will happy to answer all your queries. I will see you in the next one. Keep coding and bye.